Honorable Men Discord. Jim Jones was asked if he would ever work with Max B, and he said never. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend and tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So let's get straight to it. Max B was in an interview with Jason Lee, as you can see beside me. And Jason Lee asked him about his relationship or lack thereof with Jim Jones and whether or not he would work with Jim Jones. And Max B had a pretty mature response to that question. So let's watch this video and then I'll speak on my thoughts on it. Let's get into it.
Is that why Jim Jones doesn't like you? I mean, didn't you gave him his biggest record? Arguably.
I participated.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so then how do you go from participating and giving somebody their biggest record to now y'all have had a falling out?
I mean, listen, there was a lot of things that led to our fallout, but I'm on new time now. I'm a father of 4 children. I'm a husband. And I want to see everybody win these days. I'm not with no drama. I love to see everybody win, all right? I'm not with none of that, Lee. So shout to Capo. Shout to the crew. I want to see y'all win.
Okay. So would there ever be a Jim Jones and then Max B collaboration? Like,
Listen,
do you think you're at a place where you all can do music together again?
I'm with the place where if it makes sense and it makes money, like I told y'all before, but it's not my first interview saying that, if it makes money, it makes sense. If it don't make money, it's gossip, it's internet juicy gossip, and it's not conducive to the bigger vows.
Is that why Jim Jones doesn't?
What's your thoughts on what Max B had to say? I think it's fair as far as business and music is concerned. They don't have to make amends and then make music. You know, that seems to be what everyone may expect, just because you see Nas and Jay-Z, they did Black Republicans on Nas's Hip Hop Is Dead album. All right. And then 50 Cent and Fat Joe, they did not do a record together, but they have been seen outside at sporting events, the Knicks game together, seated with each other at a Knicks game. So maybe Jason Lee was sincere in asking that question. Maybe Jason Lee, knowing the relationship that Nas and Jay-Z has and 50 Cent and Fat Joe, maybe he's thinking, hey, what's the situation with you guys? Maybe you guys could make amends and make a track together. All right. But unlike those other scenarios, which I do think that Nas and Jay-Z, it got disrespectful, especially on Jay-Z's part with Super Ugly. But then again, Nas said some things in Ether. But Jim Jones and Max B, the reason why this is a little bit more complicated is because Max B made a song about Jim Jones' lady, Chrissy. And I think it was, she touched it in Miami or something like that. And so Max B was alleged to have relations with Jim Jones' lady. And anytime you go in that direction, it's usually never business relations, friendships, what have you. It usually doesn't mend once you go in that direction. Once there's allegations of you messing with someone's lady, that's pretty much the end all be all. I don't even know a situation like that where allegations were made about someone's lady and a song was made and those two individuals made amends. Any of you watching this episode, if you know a situation with rappers or entertainers where the mention of someone's lady was made and they somehow were able to make amends, let me know in the comment section. I don't think that's ever been done to my knowledge. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be done, but it would be very difficult to get past something like that. Now, again, so Max B, he took a couple of jabs at Jim Jones' lady, and that's probably one of the major reasons why Jim Jones can't see past uh, however he feels about Max B. Now, that's just me assuming that as an outsider looking in, but rather than me shed my thoughts on that, look at Jim Jones' response to that question of working with Max B.
We did see that Max B said that he is open to working
Never.
with you again.
Let's,
Never?
let's,
Well,
let's
that
get
was
that
quick.
out of there quick.
So you're not
Never.
open to it.
Duh, pack him up. You heard?
Okay. And that is the mind of Jim Jones. Would you like to elaborate? Because this is your time
Elaborate on which?
on any of it.
No, I don't need to elaborate on anything. I don't have no speech impediments. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Yep. Now, we did see that Max
Listen, something like this would take a level of maturity, and it has to be done off camera first. For example, Max B, being that he made a song about Jim Jones' lady Chrissy, and he said what he said, and it's cemented on video. You can look it up. I'm not going to play it here, but Max B, if he was serious, if that was something he wanted to do, he would have done it. He could have reached out, sent something, had someone. I'm sure they have mutual friends, or they know someone that knows someone. He could have sent something over to Jim Jones and his lady, apologizing, asking to meet up and have a sit down, and he could have done that. Now, would it have worked? I think it would have been better than him being in an interview and being asked a question, and he said, he started talking about business. If you're serious about making amends, and I'm not even saying Max B's not serious, but I'm saying if you're really apologetic, you don't even have to bring up the business part. I would have told Jason Lee, listen, I said some things that I regret, and before I would even discuss or even consider making music, I would need to know that that he's willing to accept my apology for the things that I've said in the past. I was disrespectful to his lady, and I apologize for that. And he could have looked at the camera and apologized to Chrissy. I don't know if he's done this before, but that's the way he could have gone about it. But I think he wrapped it up more concerned about whether or not, and although he was answering Jason Lee's question, I think he wrapped it up with his main concern being whether or not it made business sense. So he's focused on his career. He's focused on money. I get it. He just recently came out of doing a long bid, but when you're more concerned about the money, it doesn't. It kind of makes it appear as though you're not so sincere about actually moving forward. Now, he did say he's married, he has children, but that's more of him speaking on his personal life and his personal growth. That doesn't really speak towards making amends with Jim Jones. So how could Jim Jones now, after hearing that, feel as though there's anything to work with? I would look at that as like, no, he's still the same person. Yeah, he's older, he's more mature, but he's not willing to be accountable for the things that he said, the disrespectful things that he said. Plus, there's videos of encounters that they had in person. Unlike 50 Cent and unlike Nas and Jay-Z, they never had a clash face to face. Maybe different people from their circle may have clashed at some point, but Nas and Jay-Z never had a face to face clash. And 50 Cent and Fast Joe, to my understanding, never had a face-to-face clash. So those were easier to repair. But in this situation, Max B and Jim Jones, they've encountered each other face-to-face before, and it wasn't exactly something that was good. The outcome wasn't good, and for that reason, this is too much to look past. So I could understand why Jim Jones responded that way. But listen, never say never. If it's meant to be, these two men could figure it out. But in the end, if they choose not to work with each other, that's fine. If they choose not to speak to each other, that's fine also. Just as long as neither one of them get to a point where it turns into a physical altercation between them and their camp, because I don't want to see that between these two men. They're grown. They both have families that care about them, and they need to set, in my opinion, my humble opinion, they need to set good examples for those that look up to them, because they don't need to be doing that at this age. They don't need to do that at any age, to be honest with you. But I get it. It's life. We don't live in a perfect world. But what's your thoughts on this back and forth with them? What's your thoughts on Jim Jones' response? Would you have responded like Jim Jones, or would you have considered moving forward and maybe entertaining the thought of doing music with Max B? What's your thoughts? Do you think Max B's response to that question was one that was sincere, or do you think it wasn't as sincere because he kind of chuckled at the end of responding to Jason Lee? What's your thoughts on that? But listen, that's all I have on this. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, on your way out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, stay honorable.